Hey, today I'm going to show you how to replace the fuse in this one. Now, this coffee machine has stopped heating, so there's a problem down there, so I'm going to replace the fuse. So we start with popping the top. So like, yeah, from here. Pop the top. And I'm going to remove those screws over here. And this has nothing to do with this one, so remove this grating. And at the bottom there are these plastic bumpers, so we're going to remove that because underneath there are the screws. And I'm going to remove those screws. So there are 4 on these corners, and there is one deep here. There are 5 screws here. Yeah, I removed those 5 screws here. So when you remove it, as we pop the top and remove that front part, so you'll see that it's going to be, removed. The outer case will be removed easily. Okay. So in my previous video, I showed how to, remove the top, but now the fuse is here under this, protector. How do you call this? Sleeves, let's say. So I'm going to remove the bottom part. So for that, you're going to see that here inside this hole, there are screws. I'm going to remove those. Yeah, there were 2 screws, so it was easy. So now it's coming off. So let's take the screws. By the way, you can keep the screws all at the same place because they're the same. So, okay. Now I'm going to remove this metal plate over here because everything, the magnet, the heater is there. So there are 4 screws again for that. Well, be careful with the cables because they are tiny. So this one is for magnet. This white one here is the temperature sensor. And on the other hand here, these thick cables are for the heater. So it's supplying current. So let's take it apart. Yeah. Maybe it's a good idea if I pop the connectors from here, so it will be easy for me to operate. But let's see. So the cables here. Okay, I think I can work here. So now I'm going to remove this part. So in order to remove that, you can rotate here. It's a little bit tough, but it's easy actually. So if I remove that, so here these 2 parts come off, and this white thing is again the temperature sensor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open these brown protectors and replace the fuse. So for that, you need to remove these nuts here, and after removing those, I'm going to show you, how to replace the fuse. So while you're going on, do not forget which one you're taking off, so that you're going to do the same thing in the reverse order in order to bring everything together. So I removed the nuts here, so I'm taking this off. So this bracket is held by these 2 nut-like things, so I'm going to remove those so they can come off with and it's good. So now I can take this out. So let's make a test. So when for example, I have a short tester here, a multimeter. So when I touch in this two ends, it's going to show some resistance, because right now this part here, I'm measuring this part. But what's happening here is that if I measure from these two cables, it's not going to show anything, because underneath here you're going to see that there are fuses. So one of these fuses are in error. So I'm going to remove this part from the connector. Okay, I took it away. And let's take a measurement. So let's look at the blue one. So I touch over here, and from here I touch the blue, and as you see, it's open. So let's test for the brown. So I'm touching brown on one end and touching the brown on the other hand. You see that it's short. So obviously the blue part is in error. So I'm going to do not cut that one, because these are heat resistant. So you're gonna need it again. So let's take this a little bit, move this apart, and also let's move this apart as well. And you're going to see that there's a fuse here. So this is what we are going to replace. So in order to replace that part, I bought it from Amazon. It's thermal cutoff fuse, 192 Celsius. It's, there were 5 in that one, so I already used 2, and this is going to be the third one. And you're going to see that if we look at the fuse, let's make a short test on this one. You're going to see that it is short, because now this is a fuse. It needs to, it has to let the current go through. So when it is broken, it's going to be an open circuit. So that's why our heater does not work. So you can, for this one, you can solder it here. But when I made it in the past, I didn't have a solder machine or solder gun. So I pretty much, bended everything over and put things like that. It was working pretty good. But now, obviously, it's broken again. So let's make another short test on both sides of the fuse. You're going to see that it's open, so it doesn't show anything. So that is the part that needs to be replaced. So I'm going to remove that and put the new one. So remember what the direction is while you're putting it. In any case, it should be working fine, but just try to be as authentic as possible, so you'll not have any issues. So I'm going to put this again in place and put this brown thing on top of this one, because this is, as I said, this is protecting the cables from the heat, so you need it. And that's it. So you're going to reverse everything in order to put your coffee machine back, and hopefully it's going to be working.